This soap is going to be a standard drop swirl with chevron patterns in it. It is vegan and palm free. I'm calling it chocolate thin mint because it's a mixture of chocolate fragrance and peppermint essential oil. So my fragrances are chocolate indulgence, fragrance oil from Nurture Soap, and peppermint essential oil that I got from thesage.com. I'm using quite a lot more of the chocolate batter and therefore the chocolate fragrance oil than I am the peppermint. The peppermint could become rather overwhelming, so I'm just using a small amount of that. In my chocolate main batter, I'm not using any extra colorant. The chocolate indulgence fragrance oil discolors to a very dark brown on its own, so I think that'll be enough to make it look very chocolatey. I've done chocolate soaps before. I have one video of one, and you can see how dark they get. The stripe then will be the mint fragrance with peppermint oil, and I want to make it very light green, almost white, so I'm going to use Celadon green mica and Witter white mica. Both are from Nurture Soap. Here's the recipe I'm using. It is vegan and palm free. It does have cocoa butter and also shea butter, and so I'm a little concerned that it may move faster than my soaps normally do. But with just a simple two-color drop swirl, I don't think that'll be a problem. At least I hope it won't be. I have my oils at not quite 100 Fahrenheit. My lye is at 103. I have 4 teaspoons of sodium lactate in the lye. I've not added any fragrance oils yet. I think I'm going to start out hand whisking rather than stick blending, just because this may be a very fast moving batter. If it doesn't thicken up too much, I may stick blend a little. That makes me kind of nervous with that much cocoa butter and shea butter in it. I can feel a little bit of thickening here. I'm not seeing any trace yet, but definitely something's happening, so I'm glad I'm not stick blending it. In any case, that's a good emulsion. So here's my mixture of about half a teaspoon of Witter white mica and half a teaspoon of Celadon green mica in a little over a tablespoon of water, just to get it hydrated. And now that those are separate, I'll put the peppermint essential oil in the green and the chocolate indulgence into the main batter. I think I am going to dare to stick blend these just a bit. As usual, that's warm water just to rinse the stick blender. I guess I was just being paranoid. That batter is really not thickening up much at all. Yeah, that's nice stuff. Okay, so I'm going to pour the main batter of the soap. I've found from previous batches that this fragrance oil discoloration that's going to give us the chocolatey brown doesn't really finish darkening up for maybe 2 or 3 days. So I'm not at all concerned at how light that is right now. It's definitely going to darken. So I'm going to pour lengthways my green, starting out fairly deep, kind of a standard drop swirl. Then I'll go shallower for a second round. And then right at the surface for the last one. To give the mint-looking swirls. At the moment I'm smelling chocolate a lot more than peppermint. I hope I got enough mint there for that to come through at some point. Okay, now I'm going to do cross swirls and then lengthways swirls. I'm going to make them pretty narrow. Maybe 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. Well, at the moment that's very pale, but I will hope that as the chocolate part darkens that the green will shine through a little better. So I'll drop the bar dividers in, and then I will cover the soap and insulate it, and we'll check it later when it hardens. I just now uncovered this soap. It has been insulated for about 8 hours. The temperature's down to 101 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm not going to take it out of the mold yet. I'll leave it till tomorrow, but you can see that it's beginning to discolor. This soap is now about 18 hours old. It's obviously discoloring quite a lot, and I'm going to take it out of the mold. And this is the bottom side of the bars that were facing the mold floor. This is a side of a bar that was against one of the plastic mold dividers, showing almost no discoloration so far. Now that it's exposed to the air, it should start darkening. The soap is now 3 days old and has darkened up very nicely. I'm liking the shade of chocolate as well as the shade of the mint green that goes with it. So these are the tops of the bars. They've had the rough stuff shaved off. These are the bottoms of the bars where they were against the mold floor. I'm glad the green kind of shows through there, also darkened very nicely. And then sides of the bars, this was against a mold divider, or I should say a bar divider, whereas this was against the wall of the mold itself. Need to clean that one up a little bit. And then ends of the bars. This one was against a bar divider, and this one was against the side of the mold. So I like that pattern quite a lot on the top of the soap. I think that's pretty.